It's Wednesday, the 8th day of October 2025. Good morning to you. Welcome to the news on New Day. I'm Noble Crosby-Annan. Coming up this morning in the bulletin, NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Ntwibwe spent the night in police custody for his inability to fulfill his bail bond. Also, National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat launches major crackdown on notorious Galamsey hideouts in the Western region. Plus, Black Stars of Ghana to play crucial World Cup qualifier later today against Central African Republic. Welcome to the program. We're live also on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana. Let's get interactive there. But let's start the morning from here. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Ntwibwe, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, spent last night in police custody after failing to meet his bail condition of 25 million cedis with 5 sureties, 3 to be justified. His lawyer decried the use of bail as punishment for accused persons, indicating that it was too high for his client to meet. Lord Edwasari has more here.
Chairman Wontumi earlier on Tuesday pleaded not guilty to charges of assignment of mineral rights without approval and purposely facilitating an unlicensed mining operation as the first accused person and the representative of a quantum mining company, his concession. Prosecution led by Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai prayed for punitive bail conditions after not opposing to a prayer for bail for the NPP Ashanti Regional Chair. He argued that Wontumi, among other things, had failed to provide evidence of the existence of the second accused, Kwame Entry. But Andy Apiakubi, lead counsel for Wontumi, indicated that his client is a family man with wives and children of good repute and a fixed place of abode, hence is not flight risk. Justice Audrey Kokuvite granted Wontumi a 15 million cedis bail with 3 sureties, 2 to be justified. Additionally, the court ordered his name to be put on a stop list across the entry points in the country and to report to police investigators twice a month after submitting his passport to the court registry. Shortly after he was granted bail, however, the NPP Ashanti Regional Chair was rearrested and arraigned before another high court for different charges. 5 persons, including the operations manager of Akonta Mining, were charged with offences including undertaking mining operations without a license in the Tano Nimri Forest Reserve in 2022, felling trees in the forest reserve without authority, erecting buildings in the forest reserve without authorization. Wontumi and Adwoda Kwaku pleaded not guilty to all the charges preferred against them and were admitted to 10 million Ghana cedis bail with 2 sureties, 1 to be justified. Lead counsel for the accused persons, Andy Apiakubi, lamented over the use of bail to punish accused persons.
It's becoming too many that accused persons are being subjected to a difficulty of finding value for properties that will secure their bail. It is a national issue that we need to discuss. I'm not sure that there is anything into it, but there is a process that we need to affect and make sure that it serves the purpose for which the law was made.
Lawyers of the NPP Ashanti Regional Chair are hopeful that by tomorrow, Wednesday, they would have been able to meet all the bail conditions, after which Chairman Wontumi would walk or would be released from the custody of the Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police. Back in court on November 4 for the continuation of the case. Judge indicates that by that time, she hopes that all the disclosures which will be used by the prosecution would have been filed. Lord Edwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, on the back of that, former director of the Ghana School of Law, Kweku Ansasari, says politics is adversely impacting the independence of the judiciary, with unreasonable bail conditions slapped on suspects standing trial.
Nothing these days is a tit-for-tat game by the NDP and the NPP. And I'm sorry to observe
Let's now talk about illegal mining, because the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat has launched a major crackdown on notorious Galamsey hideouts in the western region, with many arrested and several equipment seized or destroyed. Meanwhile, a Tarkwa Circuit Court has remanded 12 persons into prison custody for their involvement in the destruction of some railway lines at Achim, a suburb of Tarkwa.
On Monday, October 5, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat (NIMOS) Task Force raided Gangwe, a crime-infested community in Aboso, Pristahuni Valley District, following a similar operation in June where Galamseyers were warned to vacate. Several makeshift structures serving as hideouts and drug bases were set ablaze and some Galamsey equipment destroyed. More than 100 locals, mostly Galamseyers, gamblers, traders and drug peddlers, surrendered to the task force. En route to Gangwe, the task force also conducted operations at the Dadrin Dompim areas of the Tarkwa Insoye municipality, seizing 15 water pumping machines and destroying a generator, 3 shamfangs and other equipment used by the illegal miners. Still on illegal mining, the 12 individuals arrested in connection with the destruction of railway tracks between Insuta and Bonsare near Achim, a suburb of Tarkwa, were arraigned before the Tarkwa Circuit Court on Tuesday. The 12, aged between 17 and 39 and residents of Achim, have been charged with conspiracy to commit crime, undertaking mining operations without a license, and causing unlawful damage. Their pleas were not taken as the prosecution team prayed to the court to forward the case docket to the Attorney General for advice. The presiding judge therefore remanded the accused persons into prison custody for 2 weeks. They are expected to reappear in court on October 21, 2025. Erama Smith, TV3 News, Tarkwa.
Well, let's still stay on this subject, because the fight against illegal mining, locally known as Galamsey, could be won by targeting a single crucial resource, that is fuel. And that is the view of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy. Executive Director Benjamin Insia is calling for a concerted effort to starve illegal operators and the operations of the petroleum products used to power their heavy machinery in the off-grid enclaves.
Most of the Galamsey sites are off-grid sites. That means that most of them are not connected to the national grid. And their operations demand a lot of fuel, especially most of the chamfans they use, most of the excavators they use, and also most of the pumping generators they use. All these various infrastructure or various operational equipment relies on fuel. Yet, in solving the menace, we've also considered how these Galamseyers also get fuel to power most of these machinery. I think that the MP has not been effective enough in policing how fuel are being diverted from most retail outlets to these Galamsey sites. And I think if you want to also stop galamsey, it is good that MP also develops a plan to tackle some of these diversions and then cut the supply of fuel to most of these sites. If they don't have the fuel or they don't get the fuel, I don't think that they'll be able to operate their machines effectively, and most of them are likely going to withdraw from these activities.
And away from illegal mining, there's some good news at last for National Service personnel, as the National Service Authority has announced the commencement of the 2025-26 National Service as November 3, 2025. Director General of the authority addressing the media said all bottlenecks have been addressed to ensure a seamless and more transparent system. There's more in this report.
After months of anxiety and confusion over when the 2025-2026 National Service would begin, following the suspension of the deployment system over transparency and security concerns, the road is now clear for applicants to begin the online registration process starting from Wednesday, 7th October 2025, with the official starting date of service being 3rd November 2025.
The 2025-2026 National Service registration will open from Wednesday, 8th October 2025 and ends on Wednesday, 15th October 2025. It's going to be for a period of 1 week because already we are way behind time. I am sorry to inform you that all registrants who registered in June 2025 will need to register again, as the previous registrations are now considered null and void. For all those who made payments in June, I assure you that your monies will be refunded to you. All prospective National Service personnel are now required to log on to our new website via www.gnsa.gov.gh.
The Director General of the authority, Ruth Della Sedo, addressing the media, noted the service had improved on all fronts, including transparency, security, and ease of service.
Management has taken steps to introduce stringent IT reforms and enhanced internal controls with proper banking trails to combat payroll fraud. The authority has collaborated with the Comptroller and Accountant General's Department, and I'm pleased to assure you that payroll fraud will be a thing of the past. I want to assure you that we will operate with radical transparency. The time for talking is over. The era of action begins now.
She added the service will begin basic military training for the first 10,000 personnel starting this year.
The authority, in collaboration with Ghana Armed Forces, will begin implementing basic military training for the first 10,000 National Service personnel starting this service year. Our goal is for this training to instill discipline, foster a sense of national pride, and prepare our young people to become future leaders in both the public and private sector.
And now, passengers of commercial vehicles should brace themselves up for a possible increment in transport fares from October 16, when the second pricing window of the month is announced. The Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, complained that ever since operators reduced transport fares by 15% in May, there has been progressive increment in fuel prices. George Queening has more here.
Expected to be a nationwide campaign, the Health Facilities Regulatory Agency, HIFRA, closed some unlicensed health facilities in Accra. A team comprising staff from HIFRA, the Ghana Police Service and the media closed down 9 facilities.
On May 25, the government, through the Transport Minister, compelled the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, to reduce transport fares by 15%, following some 18% drop in fuel prices. As at the time of the reduction, prices at the pump stood at 12 cedis 69 pesos per litre of diesel and 11 cedis 34 pesos per litre of petrol. Since then, there have been upward adjustment in prices at the pumps. A litre of petrol is now selling at 13 cedis 38 pesos and a litre of diesel 14 cedis 20 pesos.
The second pricing window in the month of October is expected around the 16th of October till the end of the month of October. Should there be any further increment in the prices of fuel, the GPRTU is blunt and plain with its next move.
There has been a gradually progressive increment in fuel prices since operators reduced transport fares by 15%. We are therefore informing the general public that any further increase in the present fuel prices of 14.20 per litre and 13.38 per litre for diesel and petrol respectively shall compel us to increase transport fares to accommodate the lost revenue.
At the Tema station, Ni and his colleagues chastised the lukewarm approach of GPRTU. Ni, for instance, says the 15% reduction in May has made him lose 250 cedis in his daily sales.
GPRTU doesn't seek our interest. We want to see the outcome. We always work and make losses. We reduce our prices, so if there is any increment in fuel prices, we will all increase our fares.
And if there's any increment to petroleum, we are
Government should stabilize the fuel prices for us to lessen our burden. When this is done, all stakeholders, including drivers, mates, and passengers, will be happy.
Passengers the news team spoke with said they are prepared for the worst.
Whatever they do, we can't complain. Life goes on as usual.
We can't walk to our destination, so definitely we don't have a choice.
We have nothing to say. Whether they increase it or not, we will still survive.
It remains to be seen whether or not the second pricing window of October will announce new prices at the pumps, which would compel the GPRTU to implement their decision. Until then, fingers are crossed. George Queenin, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, we'll definitely keep our fingers crossed. But before we go this morning, the Black Stars of Ghana, they completed their final training session in Morocco ahead of the team's crucial 2026 World Cup qualifier against Central African Republic. Ghana, who currently lead the group in mathematically terms, need 4 points from their remaining 6 to make it to the 2026 showpiece. There's more in this report.
The final training session before the storm itself, and the storm is a pretty big one. It's a storm that the Black Stars are hoping will finish with a place at the 2026 FIFA World Cup around the time that Ghana will kick off against the Central African Republic in this very stadium here. Madagascar will be playing against Comoros, and then Chad will be playing against Mali. The only thing that matters to Ghana, win that game, and then all will be set. Coach Otuado is training with a full set of every single player that he invited. Our guess is that he will start with pretty much a lot of the players who started. There's the likes of Benjamin Asari, Caleb Yenchi has come in, Gideon Mensah is back in the side, Jiku is around, Thomas Partey was brilliant against Mali. Sibo played alongside him. Mohamed Kudus had a good game. Antoine Semenyo is coming into his own. Otuado will try with this final training session to find the relevant balance and give Ghana everything required. The Black Stars have been really good in World Cup qualifying, save that draw against Chad. So pretty simple, dynamic, do as well as they can. They will get a feel of this pitch. And then on Wednesday, they will hope that that feel of this pitch will translate into one of the best performances that Ghana has seen. It's a big game, and everybody is expecting that the team will turn up big, including former Ghana captain Asamoah Gyan.
Well, ahead of Ghana's match with Central African Republic today, former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan has urged the Black Stars to give their all. The Black Stars, who are currently on 19 points, will take the team a step closer to securing a 5th ever World Cup appearance with a win. The former Black Stars captain spoke to Michael Otweje, stationed in Morocco.
I would just tell them to relax and, because they've built the legacy for themselves already. Although we are a bit closer to the World Cup, it's their destiny. Their destiny is in their own hands. You cannot wait for somebody to come take your destiny away from you. So it's just about the finishing touches. They've done all the work. It's just about the finishing touches. Of course, Ghanaians are also praying for them, and hopefully, that is what I would tell them. They should just go there, play their heart out, get the win, and then we'll be true to the World Cup.
Definitely going there, playing their heart out and getting the win. That's our package for you this morning. There's always more news on our website, 3news.com. I'm Noble Crosby, and a new day continues after this. Have a great morning. Bye-bye.
Charlie. Play the song again. Play the song again. Today we go score like 3-0. Kudu's day inside.
Yeah.
Semenyo day inside. Wallahi. Ya ikena. Ah! Duba. Charlie. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Charlie, I am a base.
Yeah.
Just looking forward to the Black Stars.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully they'll be in a great position to because we all want to go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
I don't care what the US ambassador may be thinking this morning. My position is that we want to go to the World Cup on 3 fronts. We'll go through Canada, we'll go through USA, and then we won't come back. And for those who are not able to go through USA and Canada, we'll go through Mexico and go through the border into Canada and then America.
I'm sure Donald Trump has included that one.
No, he's not listening to me. I follow.
His representatives could be listening to you.
I follow him on Twitter or X. So
yes,
and I love that man to bits. You know,
Yeah.
he has a new accord put together, a new plan to make sure that there's peace between Palestine and then Israel, even though those in the international community and then experts in international relations seem to think that, it may not be very successful.
But Ghana has already backed that.
We've done that since 1998.
Yeah.
We've always adopted a 2-state solution to Palestine and then Israel and the feud that they have.
Peacefully.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I know that we're playing Morocco today. Morocco, a very beautiful
Central
country.
African Republic.
But we're playing Morocco.
In Morocco, yes.
They don't have, it's not every country that's like Ghana. There's facilities it's only during the Kufuor Bawumia government period that they nearly got fever to ban us because our stadia and all that were not.
But yesterday, Bill told us that they are working especially on the Baba Yara Sports Stadium.
Baba Yara, yes.
We should have one of our games playing. I think Kotoko and another
fantastic.
team playing. Yes.
So if you're a great supporter of the Black Stars, this is what you need to do. You have to cash out with us because, you have to do some of the pairings, the odds, as to. I got educated about how they do the betting for football. So you have to, you can do that, get to know which player will score before the first half, or which player will wear the 10 jersey, or the way they tend to do it.
How much is on it today?
It depends. Okay. I haven't staked before. Just getting education. What's your prediction? You're not a football person.
I am, but I don't want to stick my neck out.
Okay. So if you are, which team do you usually support? I know engineer Samwachum, who usually watches us.
Today, I'm supporting the Black Stars.
Yes, but I mean your usual team. I support Kumasi Asante.
The local one, I support Samatex.
Okay.
Although it's
Samatex,
Samatex,
and Samara Boy.
That
area.
Doing so well.
Okay.
I really hope that the next game will come up.
I support Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Chelsea.
The one Nashoko said.
Forget about Nashoko. Nothing Nashoko says Nashoko. Forget about it.
If you kill the plantain,
some folk supporters. Forget about them. But welcome to the show. Wherever you are, please know that we have some exciting, great content for you. We are live on TV3 Ghana, and I tell you, wherever you find yourself, please make sure you join us. The Shaw family, Randa and the Shaw, so the husband is James. They have Drain and Drea. And then we have Chairman Rich's William Kukuti watching us as well. Edmond Combat is the Managing Director of the Tema Oil Refinery. Great guy. Eddie, good morning to you as well. Alhaji Jibril of National Security. Chairman Prosper, Chairman Godwin Tamaklo, who is the group CEO for the Rate Group as well, and all those who tend to be with us from the international community. Zilis Dwayne is a Liverpool fan. Prince Nania York celebrated the birthday. I'm told that he did a great dinner before he went to work for night. But don't worry. So wherever you're watching us from, please stick and stay. We have cash out. It goes with Shoko star 439 hash. This is what you need to do. What do we do?
Exactly. Just dial star 439 hash. You follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform. And your favorite platform, as always, is TV3, number 2. And the more you stake, the higher your chances of winning. Roland Walker has always been saying that you stake more than 40 times.
Yes.
Because then your number will
40
pop
tickets
up.
plus.
Yes.
If you are even a man like many men. You do like 50, 60.
Okay, I won't go into that, but yeah, so you say you dial *439#, follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform, which is number 2 right here on TV3, and you have the chance of getting 1,000 cedis today. That's the middle of the week. I mean, who wouldn't want to get some 1,000 Ghana cedis for, should I say, for free? Yes, and then you sort yourself out for the rest of the week.
I love that. I love the way you say you sort yourself out for the rest of the week. This is how we're going to sort you out this morning. We're going to have a great question asked for our this morning segment. We'll tell you that question very soon. We're going to have Johnny Hughes. He's in the studios of 3FM 92.7. So going to bring us Johnny's by. So we don't have much of a time, 42 minutes past the hour 6. And then we're going to bring you big issues. Daniel Domelovo, he was part of the in-camera committee that sat on the sacked Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokono, and also has been saying a lot of things about oral, that the president and his government, led by his attorney general, will be very slow. It's 9 months, and they're slow, walking like tortoise. Why? So we want to discuss Daniel Domelovo. We know that he is an anti-graft campaigner, but also a former Auditor General of Ghana, has great reputation and credibility by his side. And we're going to have a great panelist. Edem Agbana is joining us this morning. And then we have Zato and then Solo, who is the chairman of the Common Sense family right here in Ghana, who will be joining us as well. So we'll stick and stay. We'll try and have some great conversations there.
To the fight.
And then, you know, Chamawoon to me, crisscrossing around here. Yesterday, I saw him with the ring.
Yeah.
How do they call that thing?
Talisman.
You know, is it ring?
Wrist?
No, you know, when the police capture you.
Oh, handcuff. Yeah.
I saw a ring. Handcuff. Okay, so it was a handcuff. You know, sometimes happens in life. So Chamawoon to be so we're going to talk about a number of things related to many other subject matters. Because Gabi Otredako has been saying apparently during the Akufo-Addo government, and that period, they had wanted to splash out a number of developmental projects, and MPs in the Ashanti region refused.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. They refused.
But you know,
so we want to talk about that this morning.
Yeah, another interesting thing he says is that if you look at the percentage and the actual vote of the NDC in the Ashanti region, when he talked about, he said less than 30,000, it means that the MPP should have hope in the Ashanti region. All is not lost yet. So a number of things that he said. But yeah, I mean, the Domolevo bit quite interesting, because if you watched him, he did mince words, and he was really hard at the government that 9 months, and he doesn't even seem to have hope that the approach the Attorney General is using will work. Yeah, so I think
Charlie, that's a big indictment.
Yeah.
Charlie, we'll see how that goes. But our question of the day, what would it be?
Yes, Black Stars. We are playing Central African Republic. Yes, just get some hope. We can perform better today. Roland, you already predicted 3-0? 3-0. 3-0, yes.
3-0. Already the stadium will be empty, so we're only going to have some few Ghanaians around there.
In Morocco? They were not interested?
Central African Republic, they can't travel there. They don't have much money to travel there. So will we have the money?
4 p.m.
it's
today,
4 p.m.,
so you want to stay glued to your TV station right here on TV3. We'll bring you all the coverage. Pre-match analysis, I believe, commentary as well as commentary during the match itself, and then post-match analysis. And yeah, I'm sticking all out for the Black Stars today. Hope that we score them. I don't want to mention how, I don't want to predict the numbers of goals that will give them as in Central African Republic. Yeah, so share your views with us. What are your hopes? I think in the last few days, the general manager for Media General Sports, Michael Otieje, has been bringing us some fantastic updates from Morocco, telling us how the boys are preparing. So hopefully, really, what we've heard is what is actually going on behind the bar. I mean, behind doors, and yeah. So call in and let's hear what you're thinking. But Roland, I don't know whether people have already sent in their messages. And you're welcome to the This Morning segment on Newday on TV3. We already do have Alhaji on the line with us. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good How are you?
Very well, thank you, sir. How are you doing?
Nah. Alaji, what's your prediction? So good morning to Shamima Muslim, Julius Debra, and who?
You say our prediction today, Ghana Black Star will win. But I don't know if Ghana Black Star will play today, but I will give you correct or lie. I don't know. But maybe over today will win by 2 goals to 0.
2 goals to 0.
So 2 goals to 0. So let's keep on praying for Ghana Black Star. We continue winning the match. So thank you very much. But if you Ghana issue, can we touch it?
Please, you can share your thoughts on it briefly. Yes.
Yeah, but if you Ghana you need to exercise patience or work, because you are part of the oral committee. So if you have doubt for your committee, it means that you don't know what you did. And so you need to exercise patience. Excellency John Drama and Mama with the team aura, they will look about the aura and pursue the corrupt people and jail them. If we jail them, do you know what we will do to them? And we'll give them singing, they will singing for the prison.
Alhaji, thank you so much for calling us and for sharing your views with us. Killing 2 birds with a stone, right?
Yeah.
You said 2-0 to 2 goals to 0.
To 0.
2-0, yes. And
you're really you love us now.
Yes.
But you're really not a football. You said 2 goals to 0. You said
2-0. Let's go to Wali Wali now. And we have one of our callers joining us. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, Sani. Tell us what's on your mind, please.
Okay. For me, it's an appeal that I'm going to make to our Black Stars, that they should try their possible best to make us proud. All the nation is behind them today. And with the kind of good football that they play in their various clubs, if you look at the weekends, okay, Antonio Someone, you look at the kind of beautiful footballs, goals that he scored. I mean, two of them, the same thing applies to Kudus. In fact, individual brilliance in their teams make their teams proud, their class proud. So we want them to replicate the same, in today's match. So with the kind of brilliance that we saw over the weekends, if they do that today, they are going to win at least by 1 goal. So they should try. If UDS, team is able to conquer the whole world in the World University Games, I think that Black Stars can also make us proud by qualifying us to the next World Cup next year. So they should try their best and make us proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sani from Wali Wali. Well, that's a very tough comparison.
Yeah.
You know, UDS, the team got 500,000 from the president.
$5,000 US.
Cities.
Wow.
From the president, yes.
After winning the cup for the World University soccer games or football game.
Yes.
Wow.
So
thank you, President John Dramani Mahama. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
The representatives came to see
I haven't been monitoring.
at the Jubilee House.
I'm late.
Yes.
Wow. And they played good football against Paulista Union.
Yeah. And I think we're the first African actually to also get that. So that was really great. Peter T joins us live now. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us where you're calling us from.
Yeah, my name Roland.
Peter T.
Yeah, Roland.
Chaleminiano. Oh, mi mom. Ofane Alaji Dombo Alaji Dongo fine.
Alaji Kondo.
Ya Kondo okay. Ofane appointment hale.
Ofane hale.
Oh, ofane yo.
Hale.
Ofane chano.
Yes, okay. I'm just trying to express my regards to Alaji Kondo, and apparently national NDC head office, and then also Sariki Bawaru and Chairman Bash, and then Alajiva. Today is our day, and if it's record, the past, it got to some of their still want to perform, still want to do their all because of some academic approach by the government, led by Nana Kwadu and Baut. So if that they know that our has come within their image, so to perform a task to represent that one of the after they have been at the West Ham 2010, 40. So this is their term, and we'll support them, have them with our breath.
Well, thank you so much, Peter T. The line wasn't so clear, but at least he's saying that we're supporting the Black Stars.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that's quite great. I love the support this morning. I mean, today, yes, looking forward to the Black Stars really scoring a lot of goals against Central African Republic. I'm just wondering whether you've received some messages as well, Roland.
Yeah, so I have a couple of messages. And then this one is coming from a number of people. Okay, so this one is Osei Boateng. Osei Boateng says that I believe the Black Stars will do very well. And I know that at least they are not going to lose, and they are going to score 2-0. Very good as well. Alhaji Jibril, National Security, the Tema Enclave, good morning to you. Edmond Combat as well. Managing Director Tor. We have another caller, but from Tamale. Just please hold on, let me read this. Tamale caller. Sherry Giovanni says, since Central African Republic will be playing just for fun and won't qualify for anything, the Black Stars will win by 4-0. Hey, Sherry Giovanni. He says good morning to Mr. Daniel Nchukwu. And that from Sherry Giovanni. Very interesting.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah,
Sure.
4-0. Yes.
It's never going to be easy, right?
Yeah. But anyway, let's go to Tamale right now. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what's on your mind today.
Yeah, I'm Yusuf Shalishu. I'm calling from Tamale.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have an issue about this Dominic comment. What Dominic say? What Dominic say is true. Our government is very slow. The scandals are too much. We only have 1 year already. The 1 year is already ended. So what our government is doing about these issues, like NSS issue, up to today, since we came to power, when I heard it up to today, I didn't hear anything about NSS issue again. What happened? What is wrong with our government? If our donor cannot work, they should find another person to do the work for us. Why are they quiet? There's so many scandals on the system. Why are they quiet? What are they doing? They should talk to them, if you can't do the work, they should find another person to do the work. Why?
Well, thank you very much. He's calling for the head of the AG, right? If he can't do the job, he should be replaced.
Yeah. Very interesting there.
Yeah.
We can't do the work.
Yes.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people who are disappointed with the slow pace of oral, but even more disappointed. So there are two things they are disappointed about. We're talking about oral and the president's, wishy-washy position on Galamsey, But economy is okay. Everybody's fine. But, and those are the sticking points.
I mean, this one, you can tell that he's a member of the NDC because he said we came to power about 9 months ago, and he's not just concerned about the oral thing. He's also looking at the national service and other issues as well. He thinks, like Dom Level, 9 months perhaps is enough for us to get some grounds on these issues.
Well.
Yes. So, yeah, you are going to read your messages?
Yes, I have a couple of messages. This one is on our stream. He says, Achia Bobby Gilly M says, Boss Roland and Beatrice, anytime my daughter sees you people on TV, she calls you Cash Out. Uncle Cash Out. Your daughter is calling me Uncle Cash Out. La ilaha illallah. There's no other God except Allah. Please go ahead.
We have Godwin. Okay, let's go to the northern region now. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're well. Tell us your name and what's on your mind.
Good morning. My name is D.
D.
My name is D.
D. Okay, sure. Thank you so much for joining us.
I want to contribute to the program.
Please go ahead.
I'm also supporting what the former Auditor General said, Daniel Demolebo, that 9 months is a lot. But if you look at the number of standards they are supposed to do, it's a lot of work. So, and we have only barely 3 months to elections. Next year, next 2 years, they are going to start campaigning. Nobody will get time to go into all those things. So it's better the government should start working now. Other than that, they will lose trust in the people. And at the same time, concerning Galamsey, I think politicians, they are taking we the ordinary Ghanaians for a ride. A politician will tell you something today when he is in power. When he's in the opposition, he will tell you that when I come, I will do this. But when he comes to power, he will do what he has never promised. So the Galamsey fire, they should better sit up. Other than that, the masses are losing control. And I want to also say something concerning China, a community in the Upper East. This year recently, there has been a number of robbery cases along Sandma China Road and then Ketu Sandma Road. Whenever the traders from China are going to Sandma.
Thank you so much, D, joining us from the northern region, and that security issue he raised there on the Sandama Road. So the police, if you're listening in, perhaps you would want to send your men there. But he would be our last caller from the northern region. D, thank you so much for joining us. We want to cross over now to 3FM 92.7, where Johnny Hughes is currently biting.
Say thank you first of all to Sona Fashions in Tamale for my outfit. That's 0246-590-162 0246-590-162. You can connect with him and get something special for yourself. Sona Fashions is a wholly Ghanaian brand, and they are doing very great work and exploit, and we have to support them as much as we can so that they can also provide employment for some people in the upper part of the country, and distribution and all those lines. They can do that. Today is the birthday of one of our great guys who works with us here. It's called Kwame Edu, mixing gospel. And we want to wish Kwame Edu a happy birthday. And we pray for long life for him, and strength and prosperity and all the joy aplenty and everything that comes connecting to him. Happy birthday to Kwame Edu. Now, there's a new university in town. A brand new university in town. It's right here in Ghana. It's in the Opebia building on the airport stretch. It's a strong South African university. It's called the Rosebank International University. And that's a beautiful photo of the president and the vice president right there, Dr. George Asamoah. And now, Rosebank offers programs from PhD all the way down to undergraduate programs and even diploma. You can contact them by going onto their website www.riuc.edu.gh. And Rosebank International University is here to build global citizens. Admissions are now open for January 2026, and you must take advantage of it and get some international education right here in Ghana. And the Rosebank is also accredited by the CTN Guilds, GTech here, so when you go and you get your PhD there, GTech will not come chasing you. They also have Capsicum Culinary Studio, world-class studio. You should see it for the culinary class. They also are the British Accreditation Council, and then also the South African Qualifications Authority. So choose Rosebank, call it the Adult Montessori, because the classrooms are so comfortable, so classy, so cozy, and you should just pass by and go and have a tour of the place and make a strong choice to attend Rosebank International University College. You should do well to get to Rosebank, and you will not be disappointed. You thank me later. Now 6, there's a video of a policeman who was given a headbutt by somebody, and I look, no matter what, even if you don't respect the man, as my father used to say, respect the rank and the uniform. Even if you don't respect the man, respect the rank and the uniform. If you don't respect the man, respect the rank and the uniform. And we're finding that video. We'll play it for you. And Rosebank, maybe I'll guide you some of the programs that Rosebank offers, and ICT at different levels, BSc Information Technology and Business Systems, and IT Computer Application Development. They have also a PhD, Hospitality, Culinary Arts, available in diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate. And they also have DBA, Doctor of Business Administration, MBA, Master of Science, and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Chain Supply Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. You see why you should choose Rosebank. It's a strong South African, and you even have the opportunity to do an exchange program with a campus in South Africa. So it's a double do for you. 6, let's find the video, please, and quickly look at it, because we don't have too much time indeed. Now, I was going to talk about the policeman who was given a headbutt by somebody. In fact, we're in an altercation, and the policeman was given a headbutt. And I say that if you don't respect the man, at least respect the rank and the uniform. And I will appreciate it if the police administration and the authorities at the police administration find that gentleman and deal with that gentleman. They need to find that gentleman and deal with that gentleman, because it is actually disrespectful. It's just like the other time when a policeman stopped another person driving, and the person actually, was dragging the policeman on the bonnet of the vehicle. So it must not be countenanced, because we are not in a lawless society. We are not in a lawless society. So it must never be countenanced. It must never be countenanced. Yesterday, something happened. It rained heavily, and people have still not learned their lessons. And they still want to drive through the heavy rain and risk their lives and also cause problems for themselves. But the question that always comes to me is that, where are our engineers? This morning, driving to work, there are still patches of water, at various places. Where are our engineers? Do they give them the opportunity to actually make the input? Because this is a regular site. We are spending money every now and then trying to do cleanup exercises and what have you, and educating people. But you can clearly tell that this is also an engineering problem, unless I am wrong. This is also an engineering problem. So we have little rains, we have big floods. As soon as the clouds gather, then people have their hearts in their mouth, because they know that their homes could be flooded. Now, even some of the estates that we have are getting flooded. So it's an engineering problem. And we know this, but we pretend we don't. We know this, yet we pretend that we don't. We have turned everywhere into a concrete jungle. We are doing evil or perpetrating evil on the state through Galamsey. We have turned everywhere into a glass jungle, and we expect that some of these things will not happen. In other countries, as soon as the rain hits the ground, they have a mechanism for it to, go away. So when the rains, as soon as the rains end, it goes or stops, it goes. In our case, sometimes you would have to wait for hours on end. People around Kaswa and Weja and all those places, they always have to contend with this. And we know around the Tuba area, there is always that mudslide that comes down, takes one part of the road, and people are forced to drive on just the other side. So unnecessary traffic, wasting people's time. And sometimes people get home at 11 p.m. when they left the office maybe at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. because they will be stuck in traffic for the whole time. And we know this. And every time it rains, we have that mudslide coming down to block the road. And then we will come and scoop it away and take it away. It is an engineering problem. And the authorities must pay attention to it and look at it. If people have built where they don't have to build, break the houses down. Because I grew up in Accra. I was born in Accra. There were places in Accra that never got flooded. Today, those places get flooded. So it is an engineering problem that we know. It is some indiscipline that we know. But we are deciding that, let's be quiet about it. We ought to change. We ought to change. Now, yesterday, the NIMOS team, Prestia, Huni Valley, Aboso, those areas, they had a big bust. They arrested people who had Indian hemp and parcels of Indian hemp. They arrested people who were engaged in illegal mining. Some of them surrendered on their own. Some of them were arrested. They destroyed portions of, all the things that were happening there and the structures and everything. So when I hear people say that the fight against Galamsey is a failure on the part of the government, I shudder. Because if this is not commendable, right? If this is not commendable, arresting such number of people, destroying the machines that they were using to destroy the environment, and prosecuting them and jailing them, it is commendable. We can have the argument with the government about state of emergency, etc. We can have those arguments. But where there's unnecessary propaganda that the fight against Galamsey is failing, it's a big problem. We can ask the government to do some more. We can ask the government, for example, to start paying attention to how these people get the machines in and how they even get fuel, because they go to the filling stations, or somebody may have a tanker that they get, fuel to, because these things run on fuel. All right? So we can have those arguments, and we can ask the government to do some more in those areas as an extension of what they're already doing. And it takes time. It takes time. I don't believe in the argument of you do me, I do. No, I don't believe in that. But the facts must be made bare. And recently, I've seen some people who never spoke a word, they never breathed a word. When the distraction got intensified, they never breathed a word. When we had an LI to allow people to go into forest reserves to go and mine or degrade the environment, I never heard a word from them. And even that LI was against a cabinet decision. I never heard them breathe a word. when people in political authority were mentioned in Professor Frimpong Boateng's report, I never heard a word from them. In fact, some of them came defending. So I think that we have to be constructive enough to say things as they are, but not to embellish them to the point where we want to do, I do me, I do you. The elections are over. The next elections will happen in 2028. At this point, we have a country to develop. We have a country to build. We have a country to heal. We have a country to allow to bounce back. We have an economy to fix. And we know what the figures were, or the figures are. We know what the situation is. I told you in the past that when Galamsey busts are done, you arrange maybe 4 or 5 boys and take a photo of them, and then the people who are funding them are nowhere to be seen. And I have made that argument that, look, if we want to really end this, we should get the big boys too. We should get the big boys too. We have been in this country when people were arrested, and then by the time they were due for court, they said they couldn't find them. They said they couldn't find them. It was in the news. So let's applaud, but let's ask for more, and let's demand that the government does more and not play politics with it. Look, in the past, people are arrested, you don't see machines, and I've asked that question. Because if you go to a Galamsey site, the possibility of finding minerals is there. Possibility of finding money, stash of cash, because people are paid by day, it is there. The machines that are seized, water pumps and all of those ones, the lighting systems that they use, all of those must be accounted for or put to some other use that will be beneficial to the country and not destructive to the country. That is the kind of constructive and forward thinking that I expect that we will have, and not to politicize this, because the records are there about those who spoke about it and those who did not talk about it. I am a proud member of the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining, a very, very proud one indeed. A very, very proud one indeed. So nobody can come and say that some of us have been quiet. Some of our colleagues were arrested because they were demonstrating against Galamsey. Elvis Daku, they were arrested. Stop Galamsey now, those red shirts that we had. We did it with our own resources. With our very own resources. Now, show me the police video, please. And I beg the police to take action. I beg the police to take action. Please find this gentleman. Dear Ghana Police, please find this man and let the law deal with him. Please find this man and let the law deal with him. I don't know where it happened. I saw it on social media, and I feel obliged that, you know, these things must stop. These things must stop. Please find this man and deal with him. I beg you. Now, there's a school. It's in between Metro Mass and the municipal. It is around the Pamprom area. It is called GTTC, Government Technical Institute. It's opposite certain beans seller that I know. And yesterday I had some very disturbing news. It's headed by one Mr. Tete, Simon Tete. And yesterday I had some very disturbing news about it. I'm only asking questions about procurement irregularities that are happening in the school. Liquid soap, overalls, boots, safety boots, and safety books. Liquid soap, those conversations. Things that are procured, but not through the procurement office in the school. They have a department in the school. And these are conversations that among the students and staff, they've been talking about it, but everybody seems afraid because you may be possibly victimized for it. I'm only asking that, are these allegations true? And if they are true, now who caused them? What do you call it? Exam papers or answer booklets. Usually you would have them serialized. But these ones are printed and they are not serialized. But things are being procured, I'm told. And yet, when you come and ask for money, they tell you there's no money. Is it true? I'm only asking questions. So I'm saying good morning to the head of the institution, Mr. Tete, and asking these questions. Morning, sir. Now, we were told about the helicopter crash that took 8 lives, 8 gallant lives. And we're told that this investigation will last for 30 days. So the Ministry of Defense hereby informs the public that the investigation board established to inquire into the recent Z9 helicopter crash has formally commenced its work. This is dated the 25th of August, 2025. The board is chaired by the National Security Coordinator with a membership drawn from the Ghana Air Force and the Aircraft Accident and Incident Investigations and Prevention Bureau of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. The United States of America is providing advice and assistance to the board through visiting investigators from the U.S. Air Force. The board may also invite other relevant experts and institutions, both local and international, to assist with the investigation. It will be recalled that on the day of the incident, 6th of August 2025, a preliminary investigation team was constituted to gather all available evidence relating to the crash in support of the board's work. The preliminary investigation team is scheduled to submit its report to the board today. That was 25th of August. The investigation board has been mandated to complete its work within 30 days. Today's date, ladies and gentlemen, is the 8th of October. We have had a full month of September. So if you were calculating 30 days, give and take 25th of September. A simple question I want to ask on behalf of Ghanaians and the families who want closure, including everybody who is connected, is where is the report? Where is the report? It's a simple question. Where is the report? Where is it? Matter close. Now, we'll wrap up with a video of the former Auditor General, Daniel Yao Domelovo. And you all know how he was literally hounded out of the office, and the Supreme Court later came by a 9-0 decision to come and say that the president at the time acted unconstitutionally. So, literally, the court said what the president did was lawless. He's been making some claims regarding lawyer Aikwe Otu, who also was around the former Chief Justice's conversation. And his suggestion is that the documents that were presented by the astute lawyer Ni Aikwe Otu, who has since come to say that he didn't do any such thing, The documents were fake. And I found that troubling because Lania Ikweotu is a former leader of the bar. And Mr. Daniel Domelovo is also an auditor, former head of the audit institution. So why would he say that if it is not right? And why would Nyayuko to say also that? So the question is, what's going on here? And who's speaking the truth or who is deceiving us? Watch the video.
Now let's come to Mr. Ayukwe Otu's attack on me. I find it very interesting. He said he has provided all the evidence to Mr. Domelevo, a former Auditor General, and I sat there and I didn't take it, and other people, I was whatever influenced my decision, he doesn't know. I want to put it on record that he provided us with evidence that were fake evidence. It will interest you to know that it is the junior of the Chief Justice, the Judicial Secretary, who appointed the Chief Justice. How was that? Yes, that letter he produced is signed by the Judicial Secretary appointing a Chief Justice. So if you follow the briefing that the Attorney General has been given, a lot of work is going on. When you ask, are you satisfied? I'll say no, I am not satisfied. Because I can't see the end of the tunnel, not to talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. I can't even see it. I don't even see the end of the tunnel before the light, because I know this may continue until there's a change. In fact, the prayer of the corporates and their lawyers is that there should be a change in government. Then you hear nolli prosequa and etc. and our money is gone. The procedure that Attorney General currently is using, it's going to be very difficult. 9 months. 9 months is not small, my brother. Before we realize, we have finished a quarter of the term of President Mahama. So I think we have to change the speed at which we are moving and let people gain the confidence that things are moving and moving very fast. It begs one question. Doesn't mean they didn't prepare before coming to office, or they were not ready for winning the election. Because when I look at the quantum of money that we should recover and the speed, the snail speed at which we are moving, I'm like, when are we going to get there? We may not get there. We need to change the legal framework. And let me be blunt here. If government refuses to do these changes, it only tells me that either they are also doing the same thing, they are also stealing, or they have intention of stealing. That is the only motivation which will stop you from doing these things, which brings about quick win.
So, what's going on here? That's the question. The first question about the back and forth with lawyer Nia Ikweotu. What's going on here? The second question is when he is putting it to the government of the day that he has to recover the monies. And the Attorney General came to hold press conferences and told us that he has empirical evidence about people who have stolen from us. Some of them are on social media talking and posting, they and their assigns, because we have started doing plea bargain. Mr. President, let me tell you this humbly. The streets are not happy with plea bargain. If people have stolen from us, recover the money and jail them. We have seen it in this country before, when people were put into jail because they misappropriated money. So if they have stolen, jail them. If you jail them, they won't be on social media making funny noises. They won't be there flaunting whatever they stole from us and be making plea bargain. Because the simple analogy is that if I steal 30 million cedis from the state, or if I steal 500 million cedis for the state and keep it for 4 years, I could turn the money around, invest it, and make money out of it.
Again, thank you for joining us. We hope that you did enjoy that edition of Johnny's Bites from the studios of 3FM 92.7. You can always join their stream as always. And if you can, make sure you share those streams as well. But we're also streaming live on TV3 Ghana across many platforms. 3 News also available for you. 3news.com more importantly. And so all the platforms are available, whether it's TikTok, X, formerly Twitter, as I always love to. I'm always used to Twitter, actually. Twitter looks like there's a vibe to it. It's dope, as the Gen Zs will say. But we're here to have a conversation. Johnny started it. Daniel Domilevo is saying oral is slow. I don't know what the leading advocates of the NDC and all those who said that, look, prosecutions needed to be undertaken swiftly. And you will find that the updates that the Attorney General and then his deputy had been given seem to have slowed from May, now to say, by just a cursory observation. And so it's gotten a lot of tongues wagging that it looks like the AG is walking like a tortoise, I mean literally, and subsequently just dashing the hopes of many who thought that prosecutions of perceived corruption and acts of omissions in relation to embezzlement of state funds, misapplications of state resources, etc., seem to be slowing down. I don't know what you make of it. If you're joining us, please make sure that you also make your views known. The latest speaking about it is a former Auditor General, a man known by way of his credibility for being firm, saying it as it is, and continuing on that same tangent as well. And it's Daniel Domilevo, the latest, talking about it. So the question we're putting together today as part of our conversation is, why has we gotten to the point where the perception has now been created that the Attorney General and his deputy and all his state attorneys, etc., they seem to be slowing down on the subject of oral, you know. And so we'll talk about it. And the second part is about a great chieftain, a relation, close relation, indeed described as the cabinet cobweb, as well as the ex-official prime minister of the Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia government, Gabi Ochridako, lamenting that effort had been made to strongly outline a number of key developments for the Ashanti region during the period, 8 years, of the government of Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and apparently leading members of parliament and leading members of the party in the Ashanti region outrightly decided not to go ahead. And that is why you would find key ministers, especially the one leading the region, Dr. Frank Amakohene, getting all the accolades in this regime of spearheading key developments, of course, led by the president himself, the finance minister in the Ashanti region. Why did that happen at all? We have some great representative of the MPP right here as well, and then from the camp of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And you know that Dr. Zato is a regular. He's here. Good morning to you, Dr. Zato. Sisala is constituent. So, good morning. How are you?
Good evening. Good morning, Roland. How are you doing?
Yeah, well.
We missed you last week.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah. And then also I have Edem Agbana. Edem Agbana is the member of parliament for Ketu North, right? Is it Ketu
Yes,
North?
Ketu North.
Yeah, I nearly said Ketu South. That's why. Ketu North. How are you, my good friend?
Roland, I'm doing well by God's grace and happy to be back.
Yes. Did you go to the UN?
Yes.
How was the atmosphere? Were the African presidents behaving like the way our own president marvelously did well?
Well, let me say good morning to our cherished viewers across the world, especially to the good people of Ketu North, my people. And Roland, yes, I was at the UN General Assembly, and by God's grace, everything went on very, very well. And I can say that President Mahama once again lifted the image of the African continent, not only by his excellent delivery when he was addressing the assembly, but by the many side events that he held. I attended a number of side events that President Mahama held, and clearly, even though President Mahama is president for the Republic of Ghana, out there, many people revere him as the leader of the continent currently. And so Ghana had a very successful participation in this year's 80th session of the UN General Assembly.
Okay, good. And you could clearly see that those accolades is rubbing off positively on you. You look
very,
fresh.
Very,
Please
very
put
positive.
him on the screen again.
No, but Roland, I have some opening remarks.
Before the opening remarks,
okay.
I have the president, chair of the Common Sense family of the Republic of Ghana, Solomon Owusu. He is also an entrepreneur widely in the transportation sector. He's one of the key advocates when it comes to deployment of electronic vehicle technology, but also public transports, but more importantly, enterprises when it comes to the private sector as well. He's a key ally of the movement for change and close to Alan, John, Kujo. Okay, great. He's here. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, my brother. And greetings from the people of Cape Coast. They say they miss you, they want to see you.
Why you went to Cape Coast?
I was there over the weekend for a funeral of the mother of Oguakoto. Oguakoto is an institution when it comes to politics in the central region. And they were missing you and missing everyone here. And also, let me quickly issue a disclaimer. Last Saturday, I wasn't on Key Point.
Please, let me be noting them. Key points.
Yes. So whilst I was busily mourning with Oguakoto, then a lot of loved ones started sending me a news portal, Oprah News, that have come on Key Point and said that I was not returning to the MPP and that I was sorry about all the things that I've said about Nana Akufo-Addo. At the time that they were sharing all those pieces to me, I said, but at least...
so you wanted to... so you are intending to return to the MPP, your mother party?
That's what they are saying. They are saying that I said...
You mean that's what they are saying, or that's what it is?
No, it's not. It's never true. Our party is already,
But Sato was on Key Point, too.
Yes, but I wasn't there, so I don't know how they manufactured that story and said that I was on
Which site
Key Point.
was that?
News, Oprah News also.
No, forget about it.
Oh, that's how they are. So just to put it in context that I wasn't on Key Point and that I never made any statement. That said, I was sorry.
Forget about Oprah.
For saying that Akufo-Addo has dug a hole. I will never be sorry for that.
Please, the best news portal in Ghana is 3news.com.
Absolutely. So I was surprised that anyway.
So I'm surprised that you even went to Oprah.
But a lot of I wasn't there. People were sharing it.
So you should have told them that they should have gone to the authentic one, which is 3news.com.
Absolutely. Yeah. Next time I will do that.
But Zato represented you well, so don't worry.
No, he created a lot of problems for himself, and I don't know why he will come and do that on Saturday.
For my opening remarks.
I'm coming to you.
Zato must not be doing that.
No, please. We haven't started.
He came to make a very bold statement.
I'm always on his TikTok, and I love the way he has displayed his pictures there. And if you go to Zato's TikTok, you'll find that he's interacting with constituents in Sisala East. I can see clearly.
Is that the only one that you saw? What about the one that he was busily laughing with the former second lady and the former vice president?
Oh,
chit-chatting and
then I also see
strategizing how to come on.
And then I also see him across many radio stations as well, interact, and I think that he makes a good politician as well.
Yes, 1 minute for my opening remark. Roland, I have three opening remarks.
Because you guys are supposed to reopen, come back to Parliament.
Yes, I'll address that. I'll address that later. But there are three things that I want to say. The first one is that we have tolerated some grand deception on this program for a while. And I think that henceforth it must stop.
Why?
That is the deception that the NPP is not represented on this program. A couple of months ago, they announced publicly that they were boycotting TV3 and that none of their communicators would be seen on any of TV3's platforms.
Okay.
I recall their national vice chairman rudely and arrogantly throwing away the microphones of TV3, disrespected the station, and yet They are using the back door to send Dr. Zato, my own friend and lecturer from the political science department, who is a member of the NPP and has intentions of contesting the Sisala East seat on the ticket of the NPP. And when he comes
he
here,
has contested the primaries.
he has contested before and he's going to contest again.
What's your point?
My point is that in introducing him, add that he's a member of the NPP. Let's not run away from the fact that NPP is using the back door to be represented on this program.
Okay. What's your second point?
So my point is that the grand deception that he is a neutral or he is here as a policy analyst and other things. Let us accept that the MPP is represented on this program. The MPP is so arrogant they could not come back to even apologize that we are sending our rep. So that must be noted.
What's your second point?
My second point is that...
Because I will address the first one.
Yes, the second point is...
How about Dr. Zato?
The second point...
And I hope I also get
the second point is that, Roland, a couple of days ago, we celebrated National Teachers' Day.
Yes.
In Ketu North, we held an award ceremony where we recognized teachers and all of that. I want to make a special appeal to the Minister of Finance. In my constituency, we have teacher deficits of 492. So there are some schools, the entire school from class 1 to JSS 3, junior high school 3, you have only 4 teachers. And these students are expected to compete with students from other privileged schools in the same BEC, and they will be competing for the same space in senior high school. I plead with the finance minister that let us give financial clearance to the Ministry of Education. Adequate allocations must be made so that underserved communities can have the opportunity to all have teachers. That is my second appeal. The third one is that a couple of weeks ago, I was on this program, and Dr. Zato and I called on the National Food Buffer Stock Company to step into the situation and buy the produce of our farmers.
Because of glut.
Because of the glut. I am happy to announce that in Ketu North, Mr. George Abretuotu, the CEO of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, has been working with me as we speak. The warehouse that the previous government built but could not operationalize before leaving, we are at the final stages of getting it to you. So from Friday, Buffer Stock has mandated a company to go into the Beta, Valavi, Klenomaji areas to buy the rice from our farmers, buy gari, buy maize, and other under a program they call the National Food Reserve Program. When I went to National Buffer Stock Company and I met the CEO, that was my first time I ever saw him. I never knew him in all my political journey. But I must say that he's one of the very effective and efficient appointees of President Mahama, and it is only proper that I commend him. In the same vein, those CEOs and appointees who may not be living up to expectation and doing what the president wants, expect that some of us will sit on platforms like this and call them out. Because it took a lot of sweat to get the power that we have now. We fought for it. People died in the journey. Exactly 5 years ago, one of our deputy regional youth organizers in Bono region, Kojo, died in an accident. We were on a campaign train. Efo Olanyo was injured in that accident, many others. And so people lost their lives in the struggle for power. So we remind all appointees that live up to expectation. Every assignment that President Mahama has given you, do it and do it well, and you will get a commendation from us. But Roland, in conclusion, back to the first point. Dr. Zato is a representative of the new patriotic party. That must always be repeated on this program. He's not a neutral.
All right. And I have to say, by way of our editorial policy, we invite Dr. Zato to the platform. He hasn't denied that he's a member of the new patriotic party. Indeed, publicly across the media platforms, you'll find that his posters are there when he contested the last elections, etc. For me particularly, I allude to him all the time, and he's not shy to say that he's a member. But again, by way of our editorial policy, he's not brought here by the MPP. He may represent their views, but the MPP still hold their boycott. We officially, and then using other known backdoor discussions, still ask them to come and represent themselves on the platform formally, all right? But we don't call any party official in the MPP to say that invite a representative, and it has to be Dr. Zato. And so his views really may sometimes represent the MPP, but they are his own as well. He doesn't deny, once again, and I'm speaking on behalf of Media General, TV3, he doesn't deny that he's MPP, but again, we invite him here because we cannot, and per my experience, I haven't practiced this job for the last over 5 years, cannot have a discussion that is lame because we need varied views to enrich our conversations so that all facets of our demographic audience who tend to love us and watch us will be well represented. Irrespective of that, he is entitled to respond to whatever is raised about his associations with the MPP. And of course, we've seen him with pictures alongside Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. And even on Saturday, on the key point, he said he will be the next candidate. Is he a candidate or the president?
President.
Fantastic.
Did
Anyway,
you say that?
Yes.
Yeah, you said that.
Okay,
so I want to ask.
I can now.
No.
I don't have to.
No, I've responded for you. I've responded. Do you want to react to that? No, when you are rebutting the
But he said he was going to be a president. Interestingly, he didn't see the president of Ghana. Maybe the president.
He said the president of Ghana.
No. He could be president of the Tamasco Old Boys Association. Tamasco Old Boys Association.
Why did you go to Tamasco?
No, Dr. Mahmoud Babia went to Tamasco. As for the Old Boys Association, he could be the president of that association in 2028, not the president of Ghana. We are not talking. Why do you want to make the presidency so cheap?
All right. Dr. Zato, do you want to respond to that?
Thank you.
No. And let me ask, because I'm supposed to have the first bite because of the subject matter.
So I shouldn't say anything
until when you can. Okay. If you want to respond in a minute, I'll give you. But
yes, in a minute, I'll quickly do that. Adam said something about me that there was a grand deception. The biggest if I can say grandest deception is the one committed by the Minister of Finance. When he told cocoa farmers that he would pay them 6,000 but didn't pay them 6,000. That is the biggest deception so far of the year.
Okay, let's watch Daniel Domelevu and then we'll start the discussions.
Okay. So if you follow the briefing that the Attorney General has been given, a lot of work is going on. Will you ask, are you satisfied? I'll say no. I am not satisfied. Because I can't see the end of the tunnel, not to talk about the light at the end of the tunnel. I can't even see it. I don't even see the end of the tunnel before the light, because I know this may continue till there's a change. In fact, the prayer of the corporates and their lawyers is that there should be a change in government. Then you hear nolli prosequa and etc. and our money is gone. The procedure that Attorney General currently is using is going to be very difficult. 9 months. 9 months is not small, my brother. Before we realize, we have finished a quarter of the term of President Mahama. So I think we have to change the speed at which we are moving and let people gain the.
So just in summary, Charlie, you guys, your AG, very slow, tortoise.
Well, I disagree.
Opposition, yabi, oral means what? One advocate who says that he's been working like a tortoise is solo, always talking about every Wednesday when he comes here. Why?
So, Roland, I think it's important for us to understand the concept of oral. Oral was born out of the crucible of the public outrage. It was a national response to decades of entrenched graft, impunity, and systemic plundering of Ghana's public resources. Oral was not only a policy initiative, but it was also a moral crusade to get the people of Ghana to understand that regardless of your political affiliation or social status, when given the opportunity to manage any public office, you cannot and you must not engage in any act of corruption. And that is why the people of Ghana responded positively. And I can tell you that the message resonated with the Ghanaian people because
people had lost confidence in political leadership, and Ghanaians saw in 8 years how the resources of this country were plundered, especially by the President Akufo-Addo administration. And so the expectation of many Ghanaians who wanted to restore dignity and restore confidence, public trust in governance, was that Ora will be the vehicle to get people to account for their stewardship. And so, generally, because it's a policy that resonated with the Ghanaian people, you would expect people to make comments or arguments, asking or trying to question why 9 months into office, nobody has been prosecuted, or they are not seeing people in court. But oral as a vehicle, the credibility of it, Roland, rests also on the fact that beyond getting the outcomes, it must be done with proper due diligence. Roland, there's no substitute for due diligence in the administration of justice. I have so much confidence in the Attorney General, but it's important for people to know how these things work. And so 9 months, it may appear, it may seem to people that we are delaying or we are slow in prosecutions. But within the legal remits, within the exercise of legal authority, I believe that we are on course. Now, let me tell you how these things work. Oral committee was established even before the president was sworn in. At the time, the minority, the NPP, those who today are questioning why Oral is not delivering the outcomes that they are expecting, questioned why President Mahama was in a rush to set up Oral at the time he was not even sworn in. They actually questioned the legality of the committee. But we did that because President Mahama recognized, he was fully aware that in getting these issues investigated and for prosecution to start, it may take such a long time. And so he was in a hurry to get a committee to even start working. Now, after the committee's report, these reports are handed over to investigative bodies. Investigations will go on from Yoko, NIB, and all the others. After the investigative reports are out, it takes time again to turn those reports into dockets before you can go to court. Roland,
yes, sir.
As I speak, the NPP know, and he knows, that a number of former officials, hundreds of former appointees of the previous regime have been attending to investigative bodies. Go to Yoko, let your producers go. Go to NIB. Some of them on daily basis, they are appearing, answering questions. Now, when all these processes are completed, the Attorney General will go to court. And I am confident that we are not only interested in rushing to court, where we saw in the past how government law, sometimes even with the low-hanging fruits, the court will strike out the case based on technical grounds, not necessarily because the act was not committed, but because maybe there were some procedural challenges. And so our Attorney General is very meticulous, his deputy very meticulous, and I have so much confidence that oral may appear slow, but gradually, Roland, before long, we'll begin to see the prosecution of these people. I understand. Recently, I met somebody who told me, look, why are you people taking so much time? Because there are some low-hanging fruits. And the person started, that are you telling me that it is too technical to prosecute those who were involved in spending over $58 million in digging a big hole? Are you telling me that the $25 billion that we lost in the banking sector cleanup and all the other cases, the ambulance case involving Hawa Kumsin and many others, there are technical issues? And I told the person that these are issues that requires meticulous investigations and I believe that proper actions will be taken. Roland, we are not slow, and I believe that before the 4 years ends, Ora will deliver the kind of results that the people of Ghana are expecting. Again, the Attorney General is not slow.
When the policy was outdoored as a campaign message, it was supposed to be a policy implemented over a 4-year period. Is that what you're saying?
But when you go to the people to seek political power, it is for 4 years. We never promised that we're going to prosecute everybody in 10 months. We never promised that people were going to be jailed in 1 month, in 1 year. Roland, the legitimacy and credibility of Ora hinge not merely on its outcomes, but on fairness and integrity of its methods. Roland, the credibility and legitimacy of Ora, again, hinge also not just on some political urgency or expediency, but it must be done properly and creditably. I believe that before the tenure of President Mahama ends, all the cases of corruption, all those involved, will be properly investigated.
I see.
And will be prosecuted.
So year 1.
Justice rush.
Year 2.
Is justice risk.
Year
and
3.
Ghana's moral and institutional rebirth,
Year 4.
Roland, must not be done to satisfy only political expediency. I understand. As a member of parliament, in all my engagement with the people come to you and they ask questions about Ora. Look, there are some voters who told me that even if President Mahama does not perform well in the economy or bread and butter issues, if he is able to arrest and prosecute those who plundered the resources of this state, they will be okay. But I am telling you that the credibility of Ora hinges also on its methods, not just the outcomes. Have faith with us. Have faith with Dr. Ayine and Dr. Justicei. And I tell you, all those who must be prosecuted will be prosecuted.
Dr. Sato, what do you make of all this? Because it was a huge thing, right? I remember at that auditorium at UPSA, and subsequently after the win of President John Dramani Mahama and then Nana Jino Pukwajman Prof, well, everybody said, you know, and the updates were coming from March, April, May, then now it's still.
Thank you. In summary, what you heard from Adam is what the political jargon is today. You go explain tire. You go explain, you go tire, no happen.
You go what?
You go explain tire. Let me tell you something. Oral has achieved its biggest objective. Oral is the biggest and the best political sloganeering we've had in the last 2 decades of this country. It was nothing but cheap political slogan.
How can you say that?
The central objective of Oral was to help ANDC to gain power. They've done that. So Oral has finished his job. So, Mr. Domolevo, I can understand your frustration and disappointment. Before Honorable Domolevo came, it was the General Secretary of the NDC who were meeting NDC lawyers, complained bitterly that there are lawyers within the NDC who are trying to make deals, or there are members that are trying to make deals with former government employees when it comes to some of these things. And that he was telling them to stop it and not to do it because that is not what the NDC campaign upon. So what I'm saying is that Oral has already achieved its objective. That objective was to use it to smear, to criticize, to chastise members of the former government, portray them as corrupt so that you can
Well, Dr. Zato, if you make allusions to the General Secretary who made complaints about ongoing cases falling within the purview of Oral, it means that in altruism, there exist cases of embezzlement, perceived corruption to prosecute. So what's your case? You're self-indicting your argument.
My case is this, that Oral was nothing but a cheap political slogan used to get power. Now that you have power, there's no way to go.
But the prosecutions are going on.
I believe in something called regime and post-regime accountability. I've said it here and I'll say it again. I define regime accountability as a situation where a certain government is able to hold your own appointees accountable for their actions and inaction. That a certain government, a certain regime, a certain attorney general is able to tell members of your own party, members of your own government that you have done this wrong, You've committed this crime, prosecute you, and if you are found guilty by the cause, jail you. I call that regime accountability. Where that is not possible, or when that is not sufficient, or when that is not done, I move to the second thing, what I call post-regime accountability. There, when you leave office and a new government comes, that new government still has the right. So, in fact, no right should still go ahead. And if they find evidence against you, evidence that was either ignored or evidence that was thrown out, will hold you accountable and will prosecute you. Because the day you swore an oath to serve in public office is the day you swore an oath to be held accountable for your actions and inactions. The day you swore an oath to assume public office is the day that you will know that a day of reckoning and a day of accountability to come. And so no government official should be afraid or surprised that he or she will be investigated or he or she will be examined for what you did with the people's money, for what you did with the people's resources. So for me, I have absolutely no problem with any regime, any mechanism that is being used to hold government officials to account. No problem at all. In fact, where there are excesses, in this case, when the coercive power of the state is used, and where bail, as we've seen, has sometimes been weaponized against people, I have complained about it. I have said that we don't live in a jungle, we live in the rule of law, and I've said that people's fundamental human rights should not be abused in the name of accountability, that you can do both. You can respect people's fundamental human rights and yet take the people through the normal judicial process and get results. I've said that. But coming to oral, no. Oral was never meant to hold people accountable, and oral was never meant to be an accountability tool. And that is why today you are still seeing that 9-8 months of the regime is not happening. Look, some people that come, and let's not make this idea that there are people that are not being held accountable or say no. There are people that are being held accountable in this regime. The Signals Bureau guy, he's standing trial, right? What's the name? The former, the train thing. Skytrain thing. Somebody's been tried for. So where there has been actionable evidence, we've seen it happening. So we shouldn't also create this idea that people are not being held accountable.
Well, Dr. Zato, do you agree, and because you hold a PhD, that when it comes to prosecution and acts of prosecution, you have to make sure you gather evidence, and the evidence have to be solid enough to be able to persuade the court actionably to be able to prosecute?
You don't need a PhD to know that.
Great. So why are you then complaining that it's a campaign promise just to get the former regime out of office when you know, given and also cited examples, that even there are ongoing prosecutions?
I'm not complaining. It's Honorable Domilevo who is complaining. It's the General Secretary of the NDC who is complaining. It's the public that is complaining. I didn't complain.
And you seem to side with him.
No, I didn't side with him. I am telling them.
You have never sided with him? You're not siding with him?
People have complained, and we are not. I want to tell them why they are complaining. And I'm trying to tell you the reason why I think they are complaining is because they were misled to believe that this was an accountability tool. They were misled to believe by the NDC that it was a transparency tool. They were misled by the NDC to believe that they honestly and sincerely want to defend the public peace. But all the actions and inactions of the NDC since they come to power has meant that they don't give a damn about the public peace. That they don't give a damn about accountability. Because how can you on the one hand say, you've come and said, you are issuing up nollie prosecutors like toffee on Christmas Day. And then on the other hand, you say you care about accountability? Who does that? Who goes and tells somebody that here's a knowledge prosecute, go. Here's a knowledge prosecute, go. Take the knowledge, as if you are standing in Tubu Market and you are sharing cakes. And then you come back and say you care about the public peace. If they truly care about public peace, they would have allowed all these cases to go through their natural order and allowed the courts to make ruling on them. Then we would have known that oral was not just a mere political gimmick and was not just a political slogan. But on the one hand, you are telling, see, that's what the last time I described is a Tom and Jerry justice here. That for our friends, for our colleagues, those who are in DC, take a dollar, prosecute, go home, shut up, don't talk again.
I'm trying to get your last point. Because
I'm making both points.
Because at the end of the day, knowledge prosecute is a tool, that's the preserve of the Attorney General.
And it just so happens that only NDC members get the knowledge prosecute this time. Only NDC members get the knowledge prosecute.
You are timed out.
No, NDC members never got it.
Dr. Zato, you're timed up. And you have complained consistently.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think that following the complaints of Daniel Domilevo, an astute Auditor General, who even after being removed from office, kept on the public persona of pursuing grafts, corruption, and acts perceived to have led to loss of huge monies to the state, for which even you, as a person, as a political person, and then an entrepreneur, you say that speed is needed by the Attorney General if he wants to gain public confidence in the subject matter of oral? Because
you need speed. Either than that, these people will dissipate the money, the remaining amount of money.
They'll be hiding the cash?
Yeah, they're hiding. They are finding ways and means of trying to get it out of the country. And that is the source of worry to many of us. You see, listening to Zato, I don't blame him because it is this administration that is allowing him to be saying all the things that he's saying. For the first time in the history of this country, we have a finance minister that after his tenure, after the party lost power, he has run away from this country. Are you not aware that Ken Ofori-Atta has run away from this country?
I saw photos of him with a school.
He has virtually abandoned the country that gave birth to him. You think if he did anything good, he would be running away and living in a cold environment? It tells you that he himself agrees that the sort of things that they did to this country, and believe you me, there is a correlation between poverty, as Adam was describing, that when you go to his constituency, 4 classes, they have about 4 teachers. There's a correlation between the thievery that happened under the last 8 years and the denial of these innocent peoples of getting teachers and, for that matter, quality teachers. So why must we be lying to ourselves? We live with these people in our society. We know them, we knew them before they got into power, and we know what they have acquired now. And that their salaries can never support it. But for thievery, but for stealing, it can never support it. Go to Tamale. I'm giving you a simple as go to Tamale. The moment you get to the station, just ask the taxi drivers. By the way, I agree to all my people in Tamale that they should go and show you where the MPs and the ministers stole government lands. They will tell you, this one is for this one is for that, this one for that. Go there. The other gentleman, what's his name? Hanan. They will show you
buffer stock
apartments that he put up in record time. That he couldn't have ordinarily done it. So why do we come and sit here and pretend and lie to ourselves as though we do not know that people actually stole from us? So Domlevo is right on point. And mind you, he is also the chair of Yoku. And if you're going to go by this pace, in any case, was it not this Attorney General that came to tell us that the National Service scandal, 548 million, had just been stolen by about 4 or 5 people that mentioned names, and promised us that he was going to go to court by the end of July? Are we in July? What are we talking about? That we know that they have stolen from us, and you people want to use beautiful nonsense to cover our faces, cloud our thinking. No, it's not going to happen.
You think they're just using jargons?
Jargons, and they are just doing business. Look, what Fifi Fiavekote said was the truth, that people are cutting deals.
No, I disagree with you.
People are cutting. The General Secretary of the party said, people are... Is that what?
Fifi didn't say that.
Is that what?
Fifi didn't say that.
Please, go ahead with that. Please, excuse me. Let him make his argument. Let him make his argument. Please write.
General Secretary of the NDC said people within the NDC were doing deals. That was preventing the government from acting, which I agree. You see the word on the street there. The street guys, the voters of this country, they are not dumb. That is why I disagree with Zato. They lied to the people of this country with aura. People in this country saw what was happening. Don't mistake their intelligence. They saw the plain thievery. How is it that as a country we borrowed $13.5 billion from the international market? $13.5 billion. Can you match any development in this country to that? Only a couple of days ago, the former president came to tell us that his darkest moment was the DDEP. What caused the DDEP? We have been treated to PDS in this country. You remember PDS? PDS.
The privatization. It made us lose the
lot of money. Look, they brought a deal called, a policy called Gold for Oil. Have you heard what the money has said about it? That it allowed people to, as it were, evade taxes to the tune of 7.5 billion Ghana cedis. That's 7.5 billion. Whose pocket did it go to? 7.5 billion Ghana cedis. Whose pocket did it go to? In fact, the Bank of Ghana told us that they lost 1.82 billion through that transaction. And we are here playing with this oral thing.
You think they are just sugarcoating?
They are sugarcoating. 9 months is enough. The rate at which they are going is not good for their own government. I don't care as an opposition party because our party is ready. We will take advantage of that. But I do not need to wait for my party to take over before actions are taken.
Do you think the Attorney General,
yes,
and the pace at which he's undertaking the prosecution,
yes,
alongside his deputy and the state attorneys, they are disappointing the ordinary Ghanaians who voted for the John Mahama Nana Jeno Poko Ajiman government? Necessarily not only NDC.
They are disappointing the masses of the party. I'm telling you, if Ayeni goes to town and meet NDC, functionally, he may be chased. They may chase him out. I'm telling you, if he's listening to me, he must take my words very serious. Because the word out there is not good for him. The impression there is not good for him. Especially who advised him to change his modus operandi. That he will be addressing the people of this country periodically. Why did he change from that?
Well, how do you mean that?
When he was briefing us about the cases that he was going through, all of a sudden, he stopped. Who asked him to stop?
I don't understand. You mean with the bravado with which he was doing, he slowed down?
It was so good for the people of this country. You were alerting, you were briefing us periodically.
The briefings?
The briefings. Why did he stop? Who asked him to stop? Was it the case that people were complaining behind the scenes that, oh, you were putting us on the spotlight and making life unbearable for us? That is why he stopped? If for nothing at all, since the MPA case went to court, we have not heard anything. Mustafa Hamid, have you heard anything about it? Mustafa Hamid's case, have you heard anything from there?
The OSP case.
The OSP. You see, we cannot shortchange the people of this country. We have suffered too much in the hands of politicians. People come and just steal from us and then tell us that we are not smart. Hey, being smart is to steal from the state? No, what about the National Scholarship Secretariat? The scandal that we are hearing from. What else do you need? In fact, this government has been so lucky that evidences are coming from the people. The actual administration, few of them that didn't steal, they are giving you the evidence. How can we be told by the former boss of NLA, Samia Ugu?
You mean following the fourth estate investigation?
Jesus Christ. And he is bold enough to be going around.
He has responded.
Responded? If you were in a serious country by now, you will be facing a public inquiry.
Oh, so low.
That your own act asks you to, as it were, be doing lottery, to support the destitute, to support the poor, to support the mentally deranged, and so on and so forth. Is Godfrey Dami's department or Godfrey Dami mentally deranged or destitute or poor? Why did he give the Attorney General Department 570,000? The First Lady, is he poor? Was she poor? Rebecca Ekufuado. Was she deranged? Was she destitute? Why did he give that office?
Well, this is for the foundation.
Which foundation? That foundation didn't even dig a borehole, a single borehole. Did you see it? What about the Chief of Staff's office? What were they doing there? He gave them money. You are there dashing money left, right. A young man that will give you an opportunity to serve the people of this country. You come and do this beautiful nonsense, and you go around and bold enough, you are not even mindful that it was public money that you were using to be defending this indefensible. We cannot do that. Now, those that are the NLA, I'm telling them, you cannot tell us that we will be doing lottery and private persons will be taking that money, and you think it's a good thing, and you are quiet. These are what is eroding the confidence of the people. Either than that, there is no way the way they are performing. Now you have been able to stabilize the currency. As we speak, the referencing rate has come to 17.889%. As against what they left, inflation has reduced from the 23% to now under 10%. You could have been making noise with this. But because the people are expecting that the monies in the hands of these people are so much that when we take them, we can help in development, then they will not allow you. How about the National Cathedral, my brother?
Oh, but what about it?
What about public? Jesus Christ. That President Kufuor is able to speak in this country. He took my $97 million to go and dig a hole, while the current president traveled 22 hours to go to Japan and then go and look for the same amount to come and better our agriculture. And he's about telling us that, oh, abandon go here. It will not go well because he expects this president to hold him before a committee of inquiry to investigate him. But you are not doing it. All the pastors who were there have now gone bananas. They are now quiet. They are now mute.
National Cathedral?
National Cathedral. What is Kusibuati? Where is he? Where is he? The one that was telling us that we will be cooking Jewish food Israeli food, Pakistani food, as if our contemporary fufu and it's not enough. You were born eating fufu and besie. You grew up only to learn in your thinking. Eating Jewish food.
There will be also the Wailing Wall stone. There will be one stone.
So the stones in this country, where he is coming from, the Ashanti region, there's a place called Abuahon. All the stones in this world are there. Their minds. You see the imperialist thinking.
The Wailing Wall stone?
What is Wailing Wall? They have been going there, they come back and steal from us. Israel, when they are going to war, did they go with the Wailing Wall? Don't they bomb? They are making bombs. You are sitting here telling us that you are going to Israel to go and bring Wailing Walls or whatever. We are not serious as a country. So if Domelevo is saying this, I agree with him 100%, my brother. That the people of this country, particularly the youth, they are not waiting for any other thing. Where is Kwakwajima Menu? All of a sudden he's mute, he's quiet. The one that's Sputnik V.
The 88 million.
Jesus, Kwakwajima Menu all of a sudden have gone bananas. And you people want us to forget. During COVID, they were sharing money like any other business to MPP funds. I remember Felicia Tete, the vice chair of the MPP in the northern region, who was giving 100,000 cities and said she was giving that money by virtue of she being a parliamentary candidate. They said they cooked 54 million cities worth of food. Did you eat some? Did any of your family members eat some?
No, they said it was hot food in packs.
With hot food. These people, and we sit on this, and we want to glorify it. And people got the nerve. They were on the street a couple of days ago saying the police was intimidating them. Thieves were on the street telling you that police was intimidating. You cannot entertain that.
Oh, sorry. You cannot say some of these things.
That is what they are doing.
Your time is up.
So, Ayene and the deputy, if they think the manpower needed in their offices are not enough, they must recruit more. They must get more private investigators. They must go for our money. That's all that we are looking forward to. The operation recover all loot. In fact, in this instance, they didn't say some loot. And by the way, we are also going to petition Parliament to immediately amend Act 1079 that allows for plea bargaining. We cannot live in a country where we would encourage Sister 40, that they come, they steal us, and you allow Sister 40. It's not going to happen. You are paying plus interest, because the net effect of all the actions and inactions of politicians is what is leading us to this stage. Sarkozy is being prosecuted for going for money in Libya.
The former French president.
Now, Ranger Tang, the Chinese former minister of Agri, is facing death penalty on corruption. Is that not the case? So what makes Ghanaians think that these people are a special breed of people?
This is prosecution. Adam, you said prosecution is...
Adam is, I can understand his difficulty. He himself is mad. He started with an opening preamble that if you have been
very angry?
I can understand his difficulty. He cannot bash his own people. But unfortunately for me, I am not in that position. I can look straight into their faces and tell them as it is that they are misbehaving. They are sleeping on the job.
So,
Roland, I think you know my history on your program.
A great history, yes. What's that got to do with concerns being raised by Daniel Domelevo?
That at any point
he said he will not be surprised that
if
at the end of the 4 years nothing will be done.
If at any point in time I am convinced that indeed we are slow, I'll point it. But I am telling you that contrary to the views of Mr. Domelevo, the Attorney General is not slow. Because Mr. Domelevo is the chairman of the board of IOCO. Only September 15th, 11 reports were submitted by IOCO to the Attorney General's department. To the process of turning those reports into dockets before taking legal actions, it is not a child's play. Roland, the pursuit of justice in complex financial matters and in asset tracing demands meticulous investigation. It demands adherence to legal standards and the unwavering application of due process. I am of the view, and I agree. You see, the likes of Solo and many others who are expressing their frustration at the seemingly slow pace of the execution, it is because for you, oral is more than just a policy.
Absolutely.
For you, you saw and you witnessed the plundering
yes.
of our public wealth. So I agree. the passion, the enthusiasm, the energy. But I am telling you that we need to temper the enthusiasm with patience because due process has no substitute
what about the
in legal application.
The national service case?
These cases, recently the courts went on holidays.
Yes.
As the judicial year resumes, I know for a fact, and you say Solo is laughing, but you see, it exposes. Dr. Zato is laughing. He's happy.
I'm laughing because it's a home match.
You are laughing because...
Please.
You see? He comes here as an MPP man. He doesn't want us to refer to. He says home match. Which home match is that?
It's okay. No,
Roland.
Let's have some decorum here.
You must give us a designation. He's an MPP member and a movement for change member.
So let me get back
He's an NDC member.
Even you are a former member of the MPP.
Yes. Okay. So with Dr. Zato...
Not from the former.
With Dr. Zato, I am surprised that he's going around talking all over the place on this issue. They are the same people that when their former ministers, former appointees are invited, they march their parliamentarians to go and sit on the floor, trying to interfere with the work of Iyoko. You see, this laughter that you have this morning, let it be on record. Mark it. In a few months, this laughter will turn into tears. Because I know for a fact that the Attorney General's department is meticulously pursuing all of these cases, and all of them will be brought to book. But again, it should even be a shame for you as a member of the MPP that the people of Ghana cannot wait to have you people prosecuted. It should be a shame because they saw how you looted. Look, there are many of the issues. Today, SML.
Yes.
SML. Why is Ken Oforiatta not able to come? If you were a party of principles and accountability,
SML.
you should be able to bring your former finance minister to come and account. Why is he in Washington? Why is he running away? Because SML deal, we don't know what's happened, and many others. But I am telling you that the wheels of justice may grind slowly. But I'm telling you, but what is this your laughter today? It's only temporarily. Because your people, many of them will be brought to book, they will be prosecuted, and let it remain a shame. It's a dent even on the conscience of you, the MPP, that entire Ghana cannot wait to see you people prosecuted. It tells you the kind of things that you did in government.
There are comments in the comments. Imelda Nassar says the Attorney General must go.
No, I disagree. Look, Dr. Dominic Ayine and his deputy and their team, they are competent, they are up to task. And I tell you that I would prefer an Attorney General who may take 2 years or even 3 years to get his issues to court and win and get people prosecuted than one that, in response to emotional urgency, will rush cases and based on technical grounds, and because he has not done due diligence, will lose those cases. I stand firmly with the Attorney General and his deputy, and I am confident that knowing what I know, very soon, the demonstrations that you have started, when they invite your members, and then they invite them even for investigation, you are demonstrating. You go to Iyoko. Prepare to be sleeping at Nsawam with them, because some of them will be locked up. And when they are arrested and they are taken through the due process and they are duly prosecuted, nobody will shout witch hunting. Prepare to go and sit with them in Nsawam as well. Look, I want to appeal to the people of Ghana, especially the NDC members, that in the past, recall what happened in 2009. There were many issues, things like the Ghana had 50, where we all saw the things that went wrong. But you will go to court and all you hear is, oh, based on technical grounds, based on whatever, many of those issues went unprosecuted. But I am telling them that Dr. Dominic Ayine and his team are capable, they are competent, they are efficient, and they will ensure that people are prosecuted rightly. Roland, in conclusion, swift retribution may satisfy emotional urgency, but only transparent, thorough, and legally sound procedures can guarantee lasting justice. Again, swift retribution may satisfy emotional urgency, but it will take a thorough, meticulous, and adherence to due process to guarantee lasting justice. People will be prosecuted. Have confidence in the AG and in the government. Oral outcomes will
what
be
do you
seen.
say to all this as we move on to the next one?
Thank you. Mostly what happens is this, that when you see this emotional outburst and when you see all this big grammar, it's trying to hide something. What he's trying to hide is this. The people of this country were hoodwinked. The people of this country were deceived. The people of this country were told countless lies. It's all lies to say that people have done this in order to get power. Today you've got the power. Now, I understand the pain and the concern of people like Honorable Domilevo because they genuinely, sincerely believe that's what's happening. But I also know what is scaring them. What is scaring Honorable Domilevo and co is that they have seen how the nolle prosecutor has been used. They have seen how it has been given out nilly-willy to reward political members of the political party. They have seen how people have been allowed to get away with millions and millions of dollars under the guise of nolle prosecutor. So they are afraid that a similar political arrangement will be made. They are sincerely concerned.
When we are talking about, how does that relate to the exercise of nolle prosecutor by the attorney?
Accountability, holding people accountable for their actions or inactions whilst in office. How do you go and tell somebody that you are alleged to have stolen a million, let me say 10 million cedis. After the state has closed, everything has done, now you are telling the person, give me 6 million and keep 4 million. Now, even that, I'm thinking that the NDC has lost the moral power to begin to chase people for money because of what they did. If you add, just take a calculator and add the amounts that people have gotten away with through the nolle prosecutor. Just keep adding them. I want Ghanaians to do that. Add the money, all the people that have been let to go by the nolle prosecutor. Add the monies that they are allowed to have done. Keep it there. And then wait on, and also add everything that Solo has said. I have no cause with you, Solo, on this issue. It's accountability. So I'm telling you, if you add all the things you've said, and then you also add all the things the nolle prosecutor has said, I can tell you that the nolle prosecutors have wiped away all those savings that are supposed to happen. What that means is that the nolle prosecutors in and of themselves have created a huge financial hole. And that if you even take this money, if you take 100% of it and throw these people into jail for 1,000 years, you will not get that money back. What should have happened is that we collect both monies. So I'm also happy that you are concerned about the nolle prosecutors. I'm also happy that you are concerned that people who were in the NDC have been allowed to get away with all these monies. And that's why I understand the frustrations of Honorable Domilevo. That's why I understand the frustrations of Honorable Martin Amidu. That's why I understand the frustration of people who genuinely said, you are selling justice if you tell me, instead of oral, let's say, let's share. Why do you have that moral authority, to moral guts, to now say that I know what happened? You alluded to the banking crisis. I understand that. Yes, money was lost. How then do you say that here? You say you have the moral authority to say that even though I know that this amount of money was lost under you, go home. But we are alleging that National Service stole money, you will prosecute you. What kind of animal farm justice is that? Just look at that moral authority from and tell you where does it emanate from? How do you wake up in the morning and then say, okay, we know you've stolen, or we allege you've stolen, go home, not a prosecutor. But we know we allege you've stolen. Imagine, Solomon, in the perfect world. We are taking all the monies from the Imagine we did that. And then we took all this other money. Imagine we took all this money. Wouldn't this country have been better? So why are we throwing that away and this one? Is that not the definition of political witch hunting? Is that not the case of Tom and Jerry justice?
All right. Solo. So then you added the Gabi's lamentations about projects that ideally were supposed to have been given to Ashanti region, and then the MPs said blah, 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 blah. Just shortly.
So first of all, what we are saying is not abstract. For instance, if you take the Auditor General's report of just December 2024, and you go to page 324, it tells us that...
Which of them? Because there are a number of reports. Is it the main report?
The main report.
Okay.
It tells us that the former Minister of Communication, Esla Usu, deliberately allowed a company called Smart Infraco to get away with $6 million. And you believe that the minister will sit down aloof and let a private entity get away with that $6 million? And this is captured in the Auditor General's report.
A public report.
Public report.
By a lead auditor
6 million.
as a
Look,
country.
what that lady single-handedly did at the communications ministry is beyond comprehension. It's beyond my imagination. How will you sit down after women had heart to just destroy the whole ministry? You took just a single company called Asset Data, a Nigerian company owned by Nigerian Republic. You have West African brothers. Then that company comes to us to create 3 SPVs Kenny GVG, Smart Infraco, and Next Generation Infraco. Now NCA, she goes to NCA and give the entire NCA business to Kenny GVG, that they must be doing auditing. They are not doing it. They are just taking our monies away.
You mean revenue assurance?
They are not assuring it. When was the last time they assured anybody anything? So they create root and share. Then they go to NITA and give the e-gov. You know, now we pay money through the government platform. That contract, they were supposed to pay $2 million before its commencement. Ezra did not collect that money. Every year, they were for 5 years, $2 million in the first year, the subsequent 4 years, every year they were supposed to pay $1 million. She did not do that. Now I want to admonish the Ministry of Communication together with those in NITA that any attempt to fabricate any falsehood will be resisted. Last week I went to Parliament to go and listen to their side of the story at the Public Accounts Committee. To my surprise, when I got there, they said Ministry of Communication's own deliberations had been postponed indefinitely. I'm waiting for the day that they will do it and I'll go back. Now with Gabi Asarochedako, politics became cheap under Akufo-Addo.
Oh, how?
He doesn't even have MPP card.
He's not a member of the MPP?
And I challenged him to produce his MPP card. But he became so powerful.
Was tagged as the ex-official
because
shadow vice.
If you have a lot of
shadow prime minister,
a lot of stomach politicians, they bow to anybody who's a non-entity. Look, political parties win power by virtue of people's hard work. It's everyone that puts in an effort to make someone a president. So if you sit down for one person to control you, then you are not worth it. That is how come you can go about and say that the MPs in Ashanti region rather chose internal roles as against
major highways and roads.
And you believe that?
I don't know.
Were you not in this country
that
the vice president also insulted the people of Ashanti region when they were calling for interchange at Swabida? He said that he would rather prefer thousands of Ghana card as against interchanges.
Thousands of Ghana cards.
Does it surprise you? So they had just disrespected the Ashanti region because they know whatever they did, Ashanti region would vote for it. That is why Napo could also come in and say that as for Ashanti region, all that they needed was a t-shirt. So I don't blame Gabi. No, Gabi was the reason that Otumfuo banished the entire MPP from Manshia in 2018. Remember that issue? Undermining Manshia.
No, I don't understand. Are you making claims that the president, Nana Addo Dankwa
Akufo-Addo,
was being puppeted or controlled?
Oh, yeah, I mean, he was sleeping on the job. So he would have the lives of Gabi, feeding him wrong information, and then doing what nobody would have thought of that it will ever happen.
Because the claims he's making are massive. Huge infrastructure outlays.
At where?
That were supposed to have been undertaken. And the MPs decided not to like them. They said they liked it. I
mean, that's what I'm saying.
Should I play the audios for you?
No, you can play, but at the end of the day, Gabi must not be your yardstick in terms of truth. You understand? He has never spoken any truth in terms of governance, be it under Akufo-Addo or not. Look, go and listen to Boakye Jackson, what he did to him during the Ameri deal. You know, when the MPP came to power, they wanted to amend or, as it were, revise the Ameri contract. Go and listen to Boakye Jackson and what he said about Gabi, his role. That when there was a ministerial committee, even going into the matter, Gabi had formed his own committee and they were undermining Philip Anderson and co. At the end of the day, the Ameri revision could not happen. And that we were paying the same amount that we were paying. And that was what caused Boakye Jackson to be sacked. And anyway, I don't sympathize with him because he at one point too was also siding with the cabal and also as undermining Alan Chemanti, so I don't side with him. Me, when you help someone to undermine someone, I don't side with you. You understand? Because you aided them in all this. So as for Gabi, he has no party card. He had never helped the MPP. He became prominent in the MPP because Nana Akufo-Addo became president, and that they allowed him Nana Yankamasem. So he brought his own troops, and they were doing whatever pleased them. At the end of the day, it is their own cup of tea. Now that their party is collapsing,
you come from the Ashanti region.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who would take Gabi serious in Ashanti region?
Are you sure?
This was a party that came and destroyed businesses in Ashanti region. Ashanti region, if you want to help them, it's not even too much about what he was saying. It's about building the business base. And how do you build a business base? You knew your supporters were into business. Their interest rate, the tax regime must go down. You came and inflation went to 54%. How does it help someone in the Ashanti region? You came and the policy rate went to the roof, almost 39%. How does it help the businessman in the Ashanti region? You came and electricity, water, everything went up. Were you not collapsing their businesses and enriching yourself? So what is he talking about? Let us have our peace of mind and then try and see how our party will come and reform some of these things.
What will be the name of your party? You claim that.
It is coming soon. You will be the MC for the occasion.
I see. That'll be interesting.
Adam, you want to join our party?
Why has
so that you come and destroy the party?
Why has Parliament's recall been delayed?
Well, Roland, the Speaker of Parliament has the exclusive mandate to recall Parliament from our recess. It was initially announced that we were to resume sitting on the 14th, but that has changed. And as we speak, we are told that our recall has been adjourned indefinitely. I believe that there is no challenge with that, because when we are going on recess, the House is adjourned indefinitely until the Speaker calls. So if, for whatever reason, Speaker and the leadership of Parliament decides that we will no more resume on the 14th, but to another date, I don't think that there is any challenge. I have always said that the biggest blessing we have as the 9th Parliament is the fact that some of us, especially we, the young politicians, young members of Parliament, first-timers, we have the benefit of learning under the leadership of the Right Honourable Speaker, who I believe is an institution. Yesterday, in an interview, I told the people that I've done some study around parliaments across Africa and across the world. And as a country, our Speaker of Parliament is not only an authority on parliamentary proceedings, but it's an institution. An institution that many other parliaments, they have invited him to speak to them, training programs and all of that. And he is somebody I know who loves this country so much that he will never deliberately engage in any act that will stifle the governance of this country. I believe in the wisdom of the Speaker, and at any point that the Speaker believes that the House must resume sitting, we as his faithful, loyal parliamentarians and his soldiers will follow suit and then resume. I do not think, I stand to be correct, I do not think that there is any urgent government business that demands the House to be recalled today. In case of anything as such, Parliament can always be recalled, even out of recess. We can be called that tomorrow we should come before the House, or we should come to the House to address a particular issue and maybe even go on recess. The MPP and their allies, like Dr. Zato, should stop all this, the propaganda and trying to find reasons when there is none. Some of them, are saying that it's because the House doesn't have money and other things. I've seen all sorts of write-ups and the things that they have said. None of that is true. Before the year, or we went on recess, whatever budget they approved for Parliament and all of that, Parliament was working effectively. And then, Roland, in conclusion, what happens at the plenary is only an aspect of parliamentary proceedings. Okay. All parliamentary committees are sitting. Only last week, the Public Accounts Committee, of which I am a member, like you rightly said, they are having their sittings. As I speak, the Local Government Committee, they have their public hearings. And yesterday, the Ashanti Regional Minister appeared. Many others will be appearing today. And so, Parliament is working. When you go to Parliament, you see members of Parliament, you see leadership, they are working. So, if there is an urgent need for the House to be recalled, be rest assured that Mr. Speaker, plenary. Yeah, that's the plenary. But our committees are working. Okay. Education Committee is working.
And it's a good thing that we're seeing live the broadcast of the Public Accounts Committee, and particularly the effort of its chair.
Great. There's only 3 committees that really do public hearing. The Public Accounts Committee, the Vetting Committee that we all do, and then also the local government, they do. But many other committees,
Even last week, the Energy Committee, they were in Akosombo and other places. And all the other committees that I know are actively working. And so Parliament really is not even on holidays. Anytime Mr. Speaker calls us, we will respond.
And even there was the appearance, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, of Dr. Frank Amankohene.
That was yesterday or so, I believe.
And it also just dovetails into Gabi's own, narrative within the period that the Ashanti MP decided not to opt for major projects. And he, during the appearance at the Public Accounts Committee, did say that those major projects, particularly the Sofo interchange, and you know that there's even 3 billion now going to be received from the Japanese government to do major roads by part. And so you say that that's a good thing, right?
The past few days, there's a pattern in this country. If you watch very well, you will see a pattern. One, Charles, the conference of secondary school has come out to say that they don't have money to register students for national science and maths quiz. The first time I've never said that. Two. University Association of Ghana, UTAG. Is it about because their book and research allowances?
Are you speaking to my question?
Yes, I'm answering your question. That their book and research allowances, which were supposed to come in August, has not come.
Let me rephrase my question.
Nurses.
Let me rephrase my question. No, perhaps you didn't get it.
I got you.
No, you didn't get me. So there's a specific topic that we're discussing.
Parliament is not sitting. Okay, let me start there.
So there's a subject matter of Gabi Asare Otredako.
This is deliberate.
Addressing key members of the MPP, I don't know where, I think in the UK or somewhere like that. And there had been complaints that if you look at how projects have been announced and being outlaid by the John Mahama government for the Ashanti region, it presupposes that the Akufo-Addo government did not do so much within 8 years. And as a result of that, the question I even posed to you was prefaced with the fact that just yesterday, as I was corrected, Dr. Frank Amankohene, who is a regional minister for the Ashanti region for the current NDC government, even said some of those projects that we were told should have been done are now going to be done with even more funds coming from the Japanese government. And so I asked you, what do you make of that in relation to the concern that had been raised by Gabi and then the reaction thereof? And then you start off, you said Charles.
So
let me write. You said Charles. Charles.
No, I must say
Charles. And then the second one you were raising is what?
UTAG. Nurses, doctors.
Wait, let me.
So I'm talking about Charles. UTAG, nurses, doctors.
Nurses.
But
you said nurses.
Nurses.
And then what?
Junior doctors.
Junior doctors.
Should I talk about the
junior doctors and what?
Junior doctors.
Don't listen to
junior doctors.
Junior doctors.
Yes.
And then what?
Final parliament, because I want to talk about parliament.
Funding parliament. Yes. What has that got to do?
Good, because the question we were discussing why parliament has not been called. He talked about that. I didn't have my shoulder, so I wanted to answer the parliament question and then talk about Gabi. Can I do that? Is it possible to do that? I can do it. Good. Parliament. Why has parliament not been called? One, Charles says that they cannot prepare students for national science and maths quiz because there's no money. UTAG says that they are saying since August they were expecting their book and research allowance. It has not yet been paid since August too. 3, nurses. We saw almost 8,000 nurses on the street marching because they have not been paid for working about 8 months. Junior doctors have written a letter saying that they are intending to go on strike because they have not been paid. You see a pattern now. Parliament has not come. I can speculate that all these are wanting to come on. There's no money. The government is broke. And there's no money. So because there is no, you are so broke that you have not paid nurses. You are so broke that you cannot pay doctors. You are so broke that you have not paid UTAG. You are so broke that Charles says there's no money now. That is probably the reason why Parliament should not come. Yes, I'm speculating. I'm deducing from the facts, and I am happy that Parliament is not coming because I know that if Parliament comes today, they will pass what the sports minister says about sports levy. They are going to replace e-levy or betting tax with sports levy. So I'm praying that they shouldn't come back at all because the day they come, they're going to impose the tax on all of us. I never betted and I never paid betting tax. All of a sudden, you are coming to come with sports levy. So don't come, Parliament. Stay where you are so that we don't pay any tax. I don't want to pay any taxes. So now, come to Gabi. This is what Gabi said. He said, Gabi, I've seen somewhere that he says he didn't say what he said. I've seen somewhere that the Ashanti MPs said that they are wrong. I don't know. This thing doesn't concern me at all.
How can it not concern you?
It doesn't concern me. I just told you cannot tell me what should concern me.
So
you are not qualified to tell me what to concern me. No. So you are not qualified. You are not qualified. I have told you that what is said or not said, it doesn't concern me.
It doesn't concern
at all.
As an MPP member,
again. No, that's my response to your question. Whatever is said or not said, it doesn't concern me.
Let me continue.
No, but I didn't talk about the Asante region.
No, you talked about Parliament.
No, you asked me Parliament. But I also must have a bite on the Asante region.
So you came here to speculate.
Roland, time. So, give time, some time. As my brother Eduji will always say, give time, some time. Roland, when we told the people of Ghana that the NPP failed the Asante region miserably, they were coming up with some projects that never existed and said we were lying. Today, the Prime Minister of the Akufo-Addo government, Gabi Asare Ochedako himself, has admitted that he didn't do well for the people of the Asante region. Today, Franka Mwakuhini and the NDC government, President Mahama, is doing so much across Ghana, including the Asante region. Everywhere, every region is seeing significant development, including the Asante region. And now they are crying, even asking that don't go and apologize. There's an aspect of the video where he said, he said when you apologize to the people, it's an admission that indeed you have failed. We have seen the video. That video will be replayed in 2020. They failed the Asante region. And today the NDC is performing, and they are now regretting that. Unfortunately, they will not have a second chance. By God's grace, the NDC will remain in power and will continue with our developmental projects across the country, including the Asante region. The people of Asante region will not go back to the NPP and give them power again after this admission that they themselves have failed.
You are right. They will join our party and make sure that we prosecute a coherent
NDC will remain
and
in power.
depose the NDC
will
from
remain in power.
Come 2020.
Thank you very much, Solomon Owusu. Thank you for passing through the studio this morning, as well as
we have Penyinu Goiza. We are inviting you. The paramount chief said I should ask you to come.
Agbana, thank you very much as well.
Roland, you don't want to talk about Penyinu Goiza.
And then also Dr. Jebuti Zato.
The paramount chief talk with Daji Atolia Penny. So I should tell you that the Penyinu Goiza, you should be there. Dr. Zato to the MPP in Katunov who want to see
the Minister for
Dr.
Roads
Zato,
and
MPP in Katunov want to see
him.
So
I'm commending him and also reminding him that the road fund board is still not in place.
So
it is affecting.
But recently they appointed a CEO, so don't worry.
The board is very. He was my vice president.
But he doesn't appoint the board.
There's no in place of our Roland, in 30 seconds.
Please put their mics off for me. Put their mics off.
Zato came and do speculation. How do people who will come and do speculation on this program?
Don't bring any sports levy.
Don't bring
any sports levy here.
All right, your mics are off.
Very wrong.
I want some silence here, please. Silence. So I have a couple of you. Master Planner Junior says Dr. Zato is speaking factual, but you guys will not be cool with him. Okay, and then I had Alfred the General also come in as well. I see Imelda Nasser who brought in and said the Attorney General needs to be changed. Prince Nani York celebrating the birthday yesterday. Says that Solo is my man, and I've been saying this always that oral needs to be worked at, and then he also says that I like Dr. Zato. He's a strong man. I like his style today, and then I have this one also. Hey, Nana Mapukia, good morning. You got married. You didn't invite me. So, yeah, but good morning to you and your husband. Now, Bruce Foucault says, I'm listening attentively to Solo. So far, Charlie, the man is speaking to what the real issues the ordinary Ghanaian is thinking about, how well or not the Attorney General is doing with oral. He shouldn't disappoint us. Solo, big ups to you. Sam Doe, good morning, says, let the panel understand that cases in court could not go on because the court had been on break since the end of July for the legal vacation and resume this Monday. Yes, I agree, oral has to be tougher and swift, but the court have not been in sessions except a couple of secured and high courts for fresh arrangements. I think you had some communication link with Edem Agbana this morning. You seem to be towing the same line. Samuel Dansoman, thank you for the comment as well. And then Dr. Ishmael Norman apparently is watching. Great man, thank you for watching. Today, dear, you try. Kanta Cross City people, Solomon, Dr. Zato and Honorable Agbana, keep on keeping on. Thank you as well. We're grateful. Isa is watching me as well. He says, Isa, thank you for also the comments as well. Okay. Now, let me read a couple more of the messages. Then I tell you about Wooding, le créateur. Lawyer Sergio, Leonard Sergio, good morning. Dr. Zato receives his monthly income as a university lecturer. His wife, who is a police officer, receives I saw your wife on your TikTok as well. Police officer. You went to the graduation. If the government were broke, they would not have been enjoying their monthly salaries. You have been paid as a university lecturer,
yes,
right?
I've been paid.
Yeah,
but 10,000 nurses have not been paid.
No,
for working for
I
8
understand
months.
that. This is a comment.
No. I mean, you recruited them without giving them the financial clearance. You recruited them.
Can I continue? Can I continue reading a couple of my loyal viewers the messages, please? Dr. Albert Awatrisego, watching us live, says the crux of Domolevo's point is that the AG is using the orthodox ways to fight oral, and it is slow because oral requires an orthodox ways in fighting justice. I agree with Domolevo. I watched the full interview with KSM, and he made very good suggestions on how to deal with corruption. I think we should all pay heed to some of these points to help us all as a country. And then Nelson Akotia also says, Senior, your stream is now full of data scammers. They are posting messages about data which obstruct the viewers from sending messages. All right, I told the online team as well, and I hope, and they also made mention that they will take a look at it as well for all those who are watching. But thank you, gentlemen, for passing through. Fanyi Nugoiza.
This Saturday.
So I'll be there. If you provide me transport. I don't have a car now, so if you provide me transport, I'll
give you Aboboya.
Yes, promise you.
You give me Aboboya.
Can you imagine?
you know the politicians when they come to power now.
Broke, so he doesn't have money for transport. So you
all right.
Country broke.
All right.
This one you want to.
Okay, it's okay, gentlemen.
You say no get money over here. If you take over here from
please
here,
let me.
Okay,
so we make money by reading by. Please.
You have been paid by the state.
No, it's okay. Please, as a media station, we make money by reading LPMs, collecting advertising revenue and all. So let me read. Okay.
Oh, so you are going to collect advertising
revenue? Yeah, we don't collect money from government or anybody. It's private sector work.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Just like you, also a private sector. All right. Now, if you want to look smart and fashionable, make sure you visit any Woodin boutique nationwide today. Now, Woodin is offering an amazing collection of authentic African fabrics, all ready to wear, all coming in beautiful designs and colors for both men and women. And so with Woodin, you also get to be creative and versatile with your designs. And so they're telling you to be confident and show off how truly African you are in Woodin. So you go to a Woodin boutique near you today, and when you get there, you get to choose from their variety of trendy products, and it's all to complement your unique style. You can also follow them on social media, and the phrase to go look for is Woodin Fashion across social media. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the latest in sports. You know that the Black Stars are playing the Central African Republic today in Morocco. We'll wish them well. We'll win, eh?
Oh, Ghana will win.
All right, so all the panelists say they'll win. And thank you, Elizabeth, for my kaftan today. You can get in touch with Elizabeth in Tema Community 1 Side 3 on the number 024-651-6886. Just in case you didn't hear the number, let me repeat it. Alice Couture Fashion is located Tema Community 1 Side 3. And the number to reach her is 024-651-6886. We're taking a break. When we come back, the latest sports headlines all for you, especially from the camp of the Black Stars with Michael Otieje in the mix, leading the reports. We'll be back.